How wonderful it is to be here in this day at this time with only one thing to know, that the greatest of all things to know is that I'm okay. Regardless of circumstances, regardless of situations, regardless of terrific challenges, I am okay. I always was and I always will be. Because I know I'm not any of those things. I am light. And if only I could stay in the awareness of light, if only I could always go immediately when I feel the challenge of whatever, to knowing the light is within me. And the light is not overcome by the darkness of any challenge, ever. Ernest Holmes reminds us that, yes, we are indeed the emanations in the light of spirit, and the light is available to us, and it moves through us. And the way to overcome the darkness, he says, is not by combating the darkness. It's simply by being the light. Just by being the light. Nothing to do. Nothing to ponder. Nothing to ruminate over. Just be what you are, the light. How many people spend endless time, effort, energy, and money? And it's a good thing, too, because it helps people. Going to this one and that one and the next one. Going to studies, going to conventions, going to seminars. Reading one book after another. Reaching out for the next available thing, the next available cure, the next available heal-all. Without ever knowing that the best of all cures is right where I am, within me. And it always is a conundrum to me why I don't get that myself, number one, and why others don't get it either. Why I find it necessary to seek this or seek that or seek the other, or to move out there, or, to find out how I can best handle this. Recent times I'm learning to reach in first before I reach out. And that makes all the difference. For how can you and I grow in any sense of trust in ourselves, honoring in ourselves what is the answer to everything and the cure for everything? And it's right here and it's right now, and it can be very immediate. But how many of us trust ourselves enough to honor ourselves in that way, to know that where I am, the light is, the life is, the love is, the answer is. We certainly in the caring communities do everything we can in our power to help everybody else. But I believe the most neglected person in your life and in mine is you, is myself. We don't have the time. There's too much to do, too many people in need. Self-care is a necessity now. It's not a selfish thing at all. It's a necessity. Because with self-care, I can keep the light bright. And I can manage to open the portal sufficiently to allow it to radiate. So that I know I'm not doing this all on my own and wear myself out feeling very tired. But if I allow myself to be guided by the light, to be led by it, to be energized in it, then things get done in what appears to be a miraculous way, and it's not a miraculous way, it's a natural way. It's a great good thing. It's the way of truth. It's the truth way. The way of truth is the way of light. The way of light is the way of life. And in that light and life, the expression is love and all of its ingredients: goodness, kindness, compassion, and so on. There are so many people in our world, thousands and thousands of people in our world, being that light. Not recognized necessarily, but they are. They're out there being the light, and that's what's keeping all of this together. Those individuals, you amongst them, I'm sure, doing their very best to be all that they can be by first and foremostly connecting with the source. I often say you've got to insource everything first before you outsource it. And if you insource it, you will be led to the proper outsources to achieve whatever it is you want to accomplish. In the beginning, now and always, is the light. And the darkness cannot overcome it. It really cannot. The other day when I was coming home, the garage light wasn't on. Opened the door into the house, and then the light in the staircase wasn't on. Totally dark. So I'm pawing my way around to my phone. And I put on the flashlight on the phone. Lo and behold, the whole thing lights up. Easy to see and negotiate. You know, that's a gadget, and it has an amount of light, but it has nothing compared to you. The leaf, the beautiful lesson that, we just heard this morning from Bernice. All the, the finer scientific sides of it and so on. The leaf is burgeoning with life, and the life is the light. And if a leaf is that full of light, can you imagine how much light you have, your capacity to express is? Every cell of your body has light in it, or it couldn't live. So this thing of darkness has to become a companion that we're not afraid of. It is an experience that you and I have to bring forth some kind of message to us. It's a messenger, that's all the darkness is. There's no way any of us, and I often say it, could appreciate light if we didn't have shades. In fact, the painters will tell you they're waiting for that part of the day when the shades are just right so that they can make their masterpieces. It brings a depth to the tapestry of life. So you and I can become okay companions with the shadows and the darkness too, and not be afraid of it. Because the light is always going to overcome whatever it is. It's always going to dissipate it, always. Even in the darkest night, there are stars in the sky. There's a moon very often in the sky. There's no such thing as absolute darkness, not at all. And the darkness can serve us very well too. Indeed. I can remember once upon a time, I think it was in the 80s, when these, these dark domes, water-filled domes were very popular, and you went in and you floated in one of these in the dark. And I remember a friend of mine giving me a gift of the ability to be able to do that. That was the daftest thing I'd ever heard of, but I was going to do it because I'm good to try something out. And it was wonderful. It's quite amazing when you're in total darkness and your light of being, you're floating. There's a phenomenon light that appears, And it's not from anything outside of yourself, because everything outside of yourself is dark. It comes from within. When I first went deeply into Eastern meditation, everybody was meditating to find the pearl of light in the third eye, in the third eye center, the inner eye. And everybody was always endeavoring to be able to experience that. And let me tell you, every time you try to, it's not going to happen. It never happens by trial. It happens spontaneously. It happens spontaneously. And it can happen in the strangest of places. And what that light is, it's a pulsating white, it's a pulsating, I can't even describe the blueness of it, but it's blue. It's blue. It's energy. It's blue energy is what it is. And it's throbbing in you, throbbing in you, throbbing in you. You know, it pulsates from your, you know, your third eye, but your inner eye, but you feel it all over. And in the beginning, you don't know what it is. And then you realize later what it is. And I can remember Baba Muktananda, one of my past teachers. I've had many teachers in all faiths. And he was saying they were so excited in India at one time, they invited him to this nuclear center where they were going to be able to show him, where very few people go, pure energy, pure light energy. And so when he looked down into this vast thing and he saw this blue glow, he smiled and he said, okay, they're catching up. They're learning about what has been known for thousands and thousands of years in the mystical world. You and I have got to find that blue light within ourselves. Rediscover it, because once we did know it, once we were it and we knew we were. And now, our journey, the game of life, is all the time finding our way back like a labyrinth to the center of the labyrinth, where we wake up. The journey is only that. It's back to the self at the center, where we wake up. And then what do? The labyrinth teaches us. We take what we realize back with us, and we share it. And we share it. And we help everybody else to get to the center point of the labyrinth, so they too can awaken again into the light that they are. And some of this may sound very esoteric, and it does in the beginning, but after a time, it's very easy to recognize that energy, that light. Oh my gosh, go into nature with this information, and when you hug a tree, you'll feel the vibrations. You will feel the aliveness of the tree. If there's so much energy in the leaf of a tree, can you imagine what is in its trunk? When you look at flowers and they put smiles on your faces, what do you think you're connecting with? The energy, the energy, the energy. It's everywhere. Some people walk into a room and they light it up. It's the energy. Some people walk into the room and they deplete it completely. It's the darkness, you know? And I'm not calling darkness bad. It's not bad. It's darkness. That's all it is. Just as light is light. It's how you and I manage them, how you and I maneuver the shadows, how you and I understand that shadow and light is part of the same coin. The yin and the yang, as you can see it. It's dark this side, it's light this side. And that's how you are, and that's how I am, except there's no sides. It's all merging. It's all merging. It's just one great merge. And sometimes there's more light in the merger than there is darkness, and sometimes there's more darkness in the merger than there is light. But the thing is, you and I know how to turn the light on, turn the switch on, bring up the light. And yes, it's difficult talking about a very palpable thing in terms of words that are so inadequate. But we get a sense of it. And you will get a sense of it, and I will get a sense of it. And we won't need words to describe it. We've just experienced it. It can't be described, so why bother? But you'll feel it in your own energy field. You are an energy field. I am an energy field. The chair is an energy field. The flower is an energy field. And we're all emanating light at various and sundry degrees. So at this time, very especially, I can look out into the world, you can look out in the world and say, oh, mother of goodness, it's far too dark for me. I haven't got enough light, and I don't think anybody else has, to combat all that's going on out there. Nonsense. That's a thought, an erroneous thought that will keep us in the shadows. There's more than enough light because it's like the essence of something. When you take up the essence in an oil, if it's the essence of vanilla, you're not going to pour a bottle of vanilla into something to flavor it, I can assure you. You'll drown the thing into something that's obnoxious. It takes a little drop, that's all. Just a little drop. And you're a vial of light. Just see yourself as a vial of light. Every now and again, you're going to have to pour a drop of that on yourself to dissipate the shadows that are getting scary. Sometimes the shadows you see are very beautiful, and the artist loves that, and it gets the perfect balance and blend. But sometimes late at night when you're driving through the countryside and the menacing trees are all shadowy and showing, they get a little bit scary. But you see, the tree is no more scary at night than it is in the day. It's just my mind that I'm bringing to it that sets that scene for myself. Be in awe, be in wonder. Be in awe, be curious. Be curious. It's the curious people, have you noticed, that succeed and achieve? The curious people. They're curious. They want to find out. They want to do this or do that or try this or try that or what about this and what about that and maybe this and maybe that. When did you last have a conversation with anybody like that? Especially with yourself. There's a light within you that wants to shine. There is a light within you that wants to radiate, wants to be allowed an outlet. And that is up to you. And the outlet is triggered by your mind. Your mind is the trigger to the outlet. If your mind is heavy and dark, it's not going to happen. If your mind is open and light, it will happen. And it won't even be you making up your mind for it to happen. It's an automatic given thing. So that is why it's so important, as I always say, to keep your energy topped up. Your energy is light. Keep it topped up. Don't let it go below 51%. If it's going below 51%, bring it up. Do what it takes, do what it takes, do what it takes to bring it up. And don't let your mind be the trickster that it is in your life. Don't let your mind run you ragged, because that's what happens. It's the mind, it's all in the mind. Light is pure consciousness. The more we're radiating light and know we're in the light, the more we're going to move deeper into higher conscious awareness. Why do you think the high holidays come our way, the high holy days, the high festive days? They come to give us a breather, to ask us to step back and take a look at what's going on inside ourselves. Not outside, but inside ourselves. The high holidays are a calling to higher conscious awareness. To be still, to ponder, to know, to reflect, to be reflective, and to measure. What's going on in my life now and how did I get here? Regardless whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. What's going on in my life and how did I get here? And remember, your life and the way it moves and lives and has its being has nothing got to do with circumstances. It really hasn't, although we all blame circumstances. It has to do with what you're reflecting, what you're thinking about, what's going on in you, what those thoughts are that trigger the feelings, the heavy feelings, the dark thoughts that trigger heavy feelings that saturate you in the shade, in the shadow. It's not the way you were meant to live, and it's not the way I am meant to live at all. Viola Davis is a great, phenomenal actress. My goodness me, she wears the triple crown of all of the awards you can get in television. Came up in abject poverty, out of abject poverty, and became what she became because she caught on to that energy and that power and that light within herself that knew the moreness of life, and that the moreness of life was supposed to be lived through her. And she always says, you know, people see me and they take me very seriously. I'm not a serious person at all. I love fun. I'm full of fun. See, I'm full of fun. That's power energy, full of fun energy. And I mean, if people like Viola can do it, anyone can do it. Out of abject poverty into a wonderful life that she now gives back from, puts back from. So what is it you want your life to be? How do you want your life to be? Are you going to sit around and fret all the time? Worry all the time? Be afraid all the time? Or with decent, down-to-earth common sense, do what's right by you so that you can be more available to everybody else. So right here and right now, I'm saying to us all, ponder these things. As the great ones all pondered these things, they all went through the dark days of the soul, all of them, all of the enlightened ones, all of them had to journey through that. And if you're going through it now, stick to it. Stick to it and know the light is guiding you. No matter how dark it is, the light is in you, guiding you, and you will come through. And you will be the better for it, the more powerful for it, the stronger for it, the more vibrant for it. And you will let go of all of the smallness as a result. Stay with the one, as Ernest Holmes says. Never separate yourself from the one. Never, never, never. It's the worst possible thing you could do, he says. Stay with the light. Be the reflecting light. Because why? You are the light. So be the light. Be its love. Be its energy. Be its power in your own life, in the life of all life, because you can. And I'll leave you with the one thing I remind us all the time of. You are a point of light, a point of power through which the infinite radiates itself in all of its magnificence and power and strength and glory, if you allow yourself to be its outlet. Why not? Is this not the time more than ever before? Yes, it is. And you're the one, you, never mind anybody else, you're the one all of this is reflected toward and from. So stay with the light. Trust the light. Honor the light. Believe in the light. Because it is you. And it's the indwelling of Spirit itself. And there you have it. And so it is. And now Reverend Catherine's going to come and share something with us.
At Redondo Beach Center for Spiritual Living, our mission is always to honor your presence, to nurture your spirit, and to enrich the life of all we serve. And even with our doors closed, it is still our mission. And in the messages our members and friends share with us, we get that feedback. And here is one. I am so grateful to have your services to count on during this lockdown. I am doing my best to stay positive and busy, and I'm looking forward to many happy things. I appreciate your efforts. I do know that all the good feelings that we have add up for us all. Thank you for being consistent.
Thank you, Reverend Catherine. It's always a joy to hear from you all, whether you're just fresh and new to us or whether you've been with us for decades and so on. It's always a lovely thing to hear that, because it means that, we're open and we're receptive, all of us, as a community. And as a community, even though we cannot congregate together in person, we're still powerful and strong and the means of great good out there in the world, some of which you've heard from Jan today, which is so glorious. And many, many more things are happening because of we, all of us together, being in community. And most of us don't even know about it. But I want to assure you that thanks to you, every single one of you, great good things are happening in the world and light is spreading in the world because you're in community here with us in Redondo Beach, whether it is virtual or actual. We are making the difference, and I want to thank you for the difference that each one of you is making in our world. You truly are, because just one good thought has an amazing result. One good feeling has an amazing result. One good deed has an incredible result. So keep straight in your mind that regardless of your circumstances, you are still the chosen one. You are still the called one. You are still that channel through which Spirit has an opportunity to be its light, to be its life, and to be its love. So I honor each and every one of you, my dears. And now we're going to celebrate our own prosperity, out of which we have enough to share. So we're going to take our gift and hold our gift between our blessing hands. And we're going to be thankful and say, divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to bless, to prosper all those who give and all those who receive. I rejoice in the sharing of my good, and I release my gift with love. And so it is. And now we have our wonderful prayer together for peace and light and life in our world. So let's together know this and feel this and know it's making a difference. I know divine life enfolds me, divine light leads me, divine life lives in me, divine wisdom inspires me, divine compassion expresses through me, and divine power protects me. All that I am is Spirit's life and expression. It is good and very good. With deep joy and generosity filling me, I go forward now in sacred service, supporting a compassionate world that works for all. I move through my days with grace and ease, in peace and love, in health and well-being, in fullness and plenty, and in loving relationship with all. What I now know for myself, with blessing and in deep gratitude, I know for all life. There is only God. There is only God. There is only God by means of you, and so it is. So as we move deeper into the last preparation week for Christmas, remember, Christmas begins on the 25th of December and ends on the 6th of January, the 12 days. And so this is still preparation for us to make ourselves more ready and available to be the light that we are. So take care of yourselves and please follow the protocols and stay safe and stay well and help others to stay safe and well too. And until we meet again, please do join us on Christmas Eve and have your friends to do likewise. It will be lovely to be together with you at that time. Know you're loved, know you're cherished, and you're wrapped up in our prayerful thoughts. And so as Isla and Ryan would say goodbye, I say goodbye to you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. So it is. Peace song.